It's starting to look like they might not finish that game at all, but we'll let you know if and when we hear anything. But here's the results tonight. One goal draw for Chelsea against Krasnodar. Rennes 1, Sevilla 3. The early kickoffs there, and then Juventus won the battle in Barcelona with 2 Ronaldo penalties. Nothing from Messi, as you can see. And PSG, Istanbul, Başakşehir. We'll wait and see if anything happens with that one. Let's have a look at the table. Whatever happens, even if they don't play that game, PSG will go through. The issue, of course, is who goes through as group winners. If they don't finish the match, will they replay it on another occasion? Will they finish tonight? If they do, PSG, if they win, they'll go ahead of Leipzig on away goals from the head-to-head. So we shall find out later on. But in terms of Manchester United, they just weren't good enough tonight, Rio. Flattered a bit at the end, but...
No, listen, when you start the way they did, they went 2 goals before they even took a breath. When that happens in a game of this importance, you only got yourself to blame. Listen, they know how important this game would have been before going into it. And we said before the game, you've got to start right. Don't concede goals early on. Get through that first 15 minutes, get yourself into the game. Yeah. Didn't even have a chance to do that because they weren't on it and they weren't at it from the beginning.
Just keep getting off to bad starts, Paul. You can't keep getting away with that, can you? Clearly.
No, you can't when you come to the Champions League against a quality team.
It's just fault, though. I mean, he set up that system. They've not played it for, what, a few weeks now? I think PSG, they played that game away.
I think the difference is when they've played 3 at the back before, they've been playing up against people. The other team strikers have played up against them.
Mbappe,
so you know
Neymar,
exactly where you are. Neymar, Mbappe, etc. You know where you are then. It's me against you, etc. This team... The way Julian Nagelsmann set his team up, they were chasing shadows because people were being asked questions. Do I go in there and mark him or not? You got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, didn't have someone right up against him, asking questions, didn't even play.
Well, it begs the question, though, if you know the opposition are going to play possibly one up who's actually a withdrawn 9,
it's a waste of a
false 9. You've got 3 players actually basically marking no one, or one should push in.
We saw that in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we were saying that. Scholes, he said it actually, the first person to say it. Change 2 players now. Change from 3 at the back definitely to go 4. So you've actually got an extra man in midfield. Didn't do it. Waited till half time to even make a substitution. So, but again. The substitutions, it was too late. It was 2-0 before he was going to make a substitution anyway.
Yeah, you mentioned 2-0. Haidar with that goal. Very similar to the first.
They started towards the end of the game.
Yeah. We expected United to change things at half-time. They did, but once they went 3 down, they left themselves a mountain to climb.
Yeah, they did. You never felt they were...
We were speaking, he got 2 people booked out straight away when he came on. His pace, his endeavour, and that bit of class there was definitely one that ended up being a match winner.
Yep, OK. Well, we'll show you United's attempt at a comeback very shortly. But first, let's hear from the United captain, Harry Maguire. He's with Andy May. Interesting, he talked about the system and playing a 3 or a 5, whatever you want to call it, as he said, and then we changed and it was better. They are changing system an awful lot. Do you think that's difficult for footballers to do?
Well, no, I think the modern player does it a lot more, but, you know, I think we made the point before the game, you know, the top teams, often you know how they're going to play, don't you? Bayern, Liverpool, you know, you just know, you pretty much know every player that's going to play. And I think Ole's trying to find something because he's got a lot of pieces of the puzzle and you're not exactly sure how they fit. Today, you know, you play the 2-up where you think, OK, that it's great, but actually defensively, they weren't really back in position where they had any pressure on the ball in midfield where some the initial crosses came from. So I think Ole's had great success with playing with the 5, hasn't he? At times, some of his biggest wins have come with that. But today, when they didn't play any centre forward on the pitch, they only had Olmo and Poulsen and Nkunku who kind of played deep. All of a sudden, almost negates that back 5. So today, it didn't work. I
thought they looked like a team that didn't know how to play with a back 5. Listen, it can be, when you're playing well, it's a back 3. But when you're pinned back the way they were, but they became a back 5 who still looked disjointed and couldn't defend crosses. Like
well, therein lies the problem with that system, doesn't it? If you end up pinned back as a back 5, which is fine if you're a small club playing against a giant, but if it's Manchester United or a top team in the Champions League, you've got to make sure that you're a 3 and the 2 wing-backs are attacking rather than defending.
Yeah, and they weren't able to do that. No. And we saw that immediately as the game started, and they were being overrun totally in midfield as well.
And it can't be easy to work at a system that you've not played in recent weeks with different personnel because games come so thick and fast, especially at the moment under these circumstances.
Yeah, I mentioned that at half-time, you're going into games in 1 day's preparation at times.
Yeah.
What I think, Ollie, I think what he's trying to do is trying to find an identity for the team. We're coming here today, none of us know how they're going to play, what system they're going to do, how they're going to do it. We've just no idea.
Yeah.
Now, it's very difficult for Ollie to find that because the team are so inconsistent. You just can't find a way of playing.
Scholesy, does a manager go in and say, this is my style of football, and you're going to play it? And if you don't, I'll find players that can.
And it's easy to find personnel that way as well as recruitment.
Well, that's where recruitment comes into it. It's what we had the conversation a couple of weeks ago. How can a director of football buy a player for Manchester United? You don't know if it's going to be 3, you don't know if it's going to be 2 holding players, you don't know if it's going to be 1 holding player, you don't know where to play.
I think that's
they need to find an identity.
That's what I think.
The identity is gone, and Ollie needs to find that.
And I think that's the problem, is that I don't think that Ollie's come in and said, this is the way we're going to play, this is my style of football. I think he's saying, right, I'm going to just try and find something that suits the players that I have here, and I think that's
on this game per game
by
basis,
game situation, and I think that's not the thing that.
I tell you what, another worrying thing. We talk about leaders in the team. Harry Maguire's interview, he said we weren't ready for the first 20 minutes. We weren't at it for the first 20 minutes. No. A big game. How can you not be up for a game?
There's no excuse.
That's
such a tough game coming to Germany. They should never be in this position in the first place, but they are, and they're not ready for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. Do you think that was mentally not ready, or perhaps because of the change of system, though? Sometimes it throws everyone at sea.
I think
surely the effort was there.
I think he's talking mentality there.
Yeah,
and Ollie took another risk playing Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's, he's not played football for 4 weeks, is it? A month, and he's a lad who takes weeks to get his fitness back.
Yeah, you know what? I think Julian Nagelsmann would have looked at that first 5-0, and I think he would have seen a lot of things that encouraged him, that he knew that they could get a result in this game. Yeah. And to be fair to him, he was right. You know, they played brave, and they got some men proud of, and that's why they won. He's a great up-and-coming coach, there's no question about that.
Yeah, he is. But you watched the Bayern game at the weekend. It's an open game. Yeah. Like there's no. It's not a surprise that this RB Leipzig team are going to give you chances. If you're just short a tight unit at the back. Yeah. You know you're going to get chances in this game. That's what I don't understand. That first 15, 20 minutes is vital. Any European away game you go to, the first thing you say when you're leaving the change room, keep it tight here, stay in the game, and we will get chances. Because we've seen that.
And silence the crowd.
And silence
Which
the crowd.
You don't need to do at the moment.
So that's one less problem for you. But what I'm saying is that if you're not thinking like that before the game's even started, it doesn't seem like they went out with even that little type of mentality. And it baffles me to see that.
Yeah. OK, let's take a little breather. When we come back, we'll hopefully hear from the Manchester United manager.